I'm really not going to talk about Build Back Better anymore because I think I've been very clear on that. There is no negotiations going on at this time.
Executive action if we do not get the legislation done. So which would you rather have, the legislation or the executive action? Because one way or another, we are going to deliver for the American people. In my conversations with Senator Manchin, in the president's conversations with Senator Manchin, he has actually agreed to a whole bunch of things. With tremendous respect to Senator Manchin, he does say different things on different days. So,
wow, you guys, it's Steve here, and this is your Build Back Better and stimulus check update. And man, Pramila Jayapal responding to Senator Joe Manchin, doubling down, saying Joe Manchin has been having conversations with me, the president, the White House, and he's saying different things on different days. And she said that you pick your flavor of stimulus, Build Back Better. Is it going to be legislation or is it going to be executive action? But one way or another, we're going to be getting this done. Wow, you guys. I'm going to be sharing with you the video footage so you can hear it directly from her. You can see it for yourself. You're not going to want to miss this. She is laying out the plans of what is going on, and let me know your thoughts. Now, also, you guys, wanted to remind you that the new channel is going to be launching this week, and the first video is ready. It's going to be about what I was told by a multimillionaire several years ago about how to get rich. He said, here's the secret to getting rich. Do these 3 things that wealthy people focus on, and if you do them, you will become rich. And I listened to him, did everything he told me to, and it ended up working, you guys. So I'm just going to be sharing that with you guys. Hopefully it'll bless somebody and maybe help change somebody's financial situation. So that's going to be the first video on the new channel. Keep an eye out for that. If you're interested in seeing that and joining that channel, I'll pin a link in the comments down below. You can click it, go subscribe, and turn on notifications. But right now, let's go ahead and get you caught up on the latest with economic news. And let's start off by smashing the like button. If you appreciate the updates, just takes a second. I will keep you up to date what's going on with Build Back Better, stimulus checks, what's happening with Congress, everything that's unfolding. I'll keep you up to date here on the channel. And if you'd like to stay up to date, don't forget, totally free to do so. All you got to do is smash the subscribe button and turn on that notification bell. And if you got any specific questions for me, shoot them to me in the DM on Instagram at SteveRam3. That's the best way to get a hold of me directly. Here on YouTube, please use caution because we're getting scammers that go into the comments. They take my picture and they put Steve Ram and they claim they're me and they ask you to wire them money or contact them on WhatsApp. You guys, that's not me. Contact me on Instagram and I will go through all my DMs and try to get you back any responses to any questions you have. Give me a little bit of time because I get a lot of them, but I do go through and I'll do my best to help you out with any questions, guys. But with that being said, let's go ahead and dive into this video footage, and you're going to be hearing directly from Pramila Jayapal, head of the Progressive Caucus in the House of Representatives, and her response to what's happening right now with Joe Manchin saying there are no talks happening and there is no Build Back Better negotiations. Let's go ahead and take a look.
I'm really not going to talk about Build Back Better anymore because I think I've been very clear on that. There is no negotiations going on at this time. Okay? And there's an awful lot of things that had a lot of things that were very, I think, well intended, and there was a lot of things that was pretty far reach on some things in the most delicate times that we have right now, and our country's divided, and I don't tend to do anything that divides our country anymore.
I'm joined now by the chair of the Congressional Progressive Caucus, Congresswoman Pramila Jayapal of Washington. And Congresswoman, I won't start with a question other than react to what you just heard from Senator Manchin.
Well, Chuck, Happy New Year, first of all. It's good to see you.
Thank you.
Look, I think that there are 2 things happening right now, 2 pieces of legislation that are absolutely critical. One is voting rights, and you've been talking about that on your show. And the other is Build Back Better. And I know from my conversations with the White House recently that the focus for the immediate week or 2 weeks coming up is on voting rights legislation because it is so critical. Voter suppression is absolutely voter fraud, in my opinion. And there are over 400 voting rights bills that have been introduced in state legislatures just since January 6th. Now, that does not mean that we are not also going to push forward on Build Back Better. And I know that Senator Manchin is key to both of those efforts. I know that the White House has told me that they are not in any way letting up the gas on Build Back Better. And it is why the Congressional Progressive Caucus and our executive board put out a statement saying that while we intend to push forward on legislation for Build Back Better, we are also pushing for the White House and the president to take executive actions on any number of things that are possible. I want to be clear that that is not going to achieve all of Build Back Better. It would be a massive failure if we don't achieve all that is in Build Back Better. But we also think that it's time to up the ante and make it clear to all the corporations that are trying to push back against Build Back Better that we need to get it done, and it will get done. We will do prescription drug pricing executive action. We will do climate change, fossil fuel action, executive action, if we do not get the legislation done. So which would you rather have, the legislation or the executive action? Because one way or another, we are going to deliver for the American people. One last thing, Chuck, I'll just say, Senator Manchin said he doesn't want to divide the country, but I want to be clear that Build Back Better is extremely uniting. Republicans, independents, and Democrats support the vast majority of this bill and the critical provisions that lower costs for American people.
How close are you to having to be resigned to the fact that maybe Build Back Better is going to have to be split up? It was interesting to me what you put in the category of where some executive actions could be taken. You talked about it in prescription drugs. You talked about it in some climate issues. You can't executive action your way around the child care tax credit. So given the importance of that lifeline to so many people, start of the year, gosh only knows how what we're dealing with already right now and the way COVID's disrupting a lot of lives again. Here we go again. That may be a lifeline for a lot of people. Do you think you're going to have to split that off and deal with that independently?
Well, Chuck, in my conversations with Senator Manchin, in the president's conversations with Senator Manchin, he has actually agreed to a whole bunch of things. The child tax credit, to be fair to him, was not one of them. He only agreed to a one-year extension in the framework. And so that is going to be a challenge for us no matter what. Doesn't mean we're going to stop pushing for it. But I want to talk about child care, about universal pre-K, about elder care. He has agreed to all three pieces of the care economy part of the bill. He has agreed to housing. He has agreed to a lot of the work around healthcare subsidies, Medicaid expansion, and the ACA subsidies. Those pieces have been agreed to. And I think that there are some pieces that haven't, and we did put some things into the House bill that he had not agreed to. But that is why I'm urging us to go right back to the framework that he did agree to as a bottom line, and then get as much else as we can get in there. But I really do think that we're very close. And with tremendous respect to Senator Manchin, he does say different things on different days. So I believe that we can still get a lot of Build Back Better done. And I believe it's actually the president's responsibility now to deliver on that, because as you remember, the president made a commitment to us based on President Manchin's promise to him.
It sounds like, Congresswoman, you'll take anything he'll say yes to. I mean, I'm bottom lining it too much. I mean, you're pretty close, aren't you? That whatever he's a yes on, you'll take?
No. What I've said consistently is that he said yes to the framework that was unveiled before the president went to COP26. We endorsed that framework. There were some things in the House bill that were more than that framework. I want to go at least to that framework, because that is the place where there was tremendous negotiation led in large part because the Progressive Caucus insisted that we were not going to let one bill go without the other. So we now have the text. It should be pretty easy for Senator Manchin to go through and make sure that the text agrees with that framework that we all endorsed, that we all agreed to, and that was the basis of the promise on which the president made his promise to us. So, this is a critical moment. I'm not saying we're going to take anything he'll agree to. I'm saying go back to what he agreed to, because we endorsed that, and it contained the vast majority of our priorities.
Man, so let me know your thoughts on this. There has been a lot unfolding since Congress has gotten back into session, and I think we're going to be hearing a whole lot more, because right now we're hearing two different stories. We're hearing that Build Back Better negotiations have been taking place and there's progress, and we're also hearing, no, it hasn't, and negotiations need to start. And we're hearing that they're hitting the ground running, saying that they're going to get this done, but we will see, you guys, and I will keep you up to date. And also, is there going to need to be executive actions? Is there going to be legislation for this? Is there going to be more, as we're hearing Democratic progressives call for another stimulus reconciliation bill after this one, and they want to bring back a fourth stimulus check. They want to bring unemployment extensions. That's right, provisions of the past. They're saying people still need them, as we're seeing the Omicron variant surge like never before. Now, in addition to that, we're also seeing state, county, and city stimulus packages, and in many cases, stimulus checks, as they're finally starting to take that American Rescue Act money, and back from March, the last stimulus package, they're finally starting to pass their own provisions and packages now. And you guys, I will keep you up to date on all that. And also, keep an eye out for that new channel. I'm going to be launching that first video here very soon about what I was taught by a multimillionaire about how to get rich. He said, here are the 3 things you need to focus on. This is the secret. And I did what he told me to do, and it actually worked. And I'm hoping that maybe it'll work for somebody else as well, you guys. So keep an eye out for that. And as always, you guys, thank you so much for joining me here on the channel. If you made it this far and you haven't already, don't forget, if you appreciate the updates, just take a quick second to smash the like button. Helps out the channel a ton. Thank you so much. Leave your comments, share this out. If this is your first time here, come join the Ram fam, totally free. All you gotta do is hit the subscribe button, turn on that notification bell, and if you got any specific questions for me, shoot them to me in the DM on Instagram at SteveRam3. But with that being said, you guys, I hope this reaches you well, and I will catch you in the next one. Take care. God bless. This is Steve.